Greetings everybody, Legionnaire here with some more Halo content. We are commenting on a modded single-player mission of Halo 3. This is the Mythic Overhaul, and it's an excellent mod, adds all new weapons, cleans up the enemies, makes the game more challenging, but the weapons are much more powerful, so it evens it out. So for example, the assault rifle has a scope, which it did not have before, and I've always liked the balancing in Halo 3, even though a lot of people say it's arguably less balanced in the earlier games because of how much more powerful CE's weapons sandbox is. I'd say like Halo 3 had the perfect balance, but this mod just makes it even better. In my opinion, buffs are always the way to go. Nerfing anything in an FPS or any genre just dampens the experience. And now all the enemies are more powerful, but all the weapons you possess are stronger. And notice the colors feel brighter and more vibrant too. And given that this is my favorite game of all time, that's a tall compliment given how basically near flawless I consider most of Halo 3 to be. Is you can improve on something like that, you're doing something right. And man, the AR is so much better in this version. The modded AR just shreds people. Like, it feels like a real weapon in this. In Infinite, it's actually a little bit too good sometimes. You can cross-map people with it. I wouldn't suggest nerfing it though, because I didn't like the fact that in Halo 3, the only thing I don't like about Halo 3, and it's so minor it's to be non-existent, is that the assault rifle and the Magnum are just a tad too weak in my opinion. They're still enjoyable and fun to use, and there's little really bad I can say about them other than they're just too weak to the vanilla of the game. But in this mod, that is not a problem, because the pistol is now rapid fire, has a scope. Basically, it's like the Halo 1 Magnum. In Halo 3, man, they need to release a Mythic Overhaul for Halo 3 for multiplayer. Now there's an idea. They need to release a Halo 3 Mythic, like, multiplayer pack, so all the multiplayer maps in Halo 3 get treated to the new weapons sandbox and the more powerful sandbox, because that would add some replayability. Just adds to the idea that Halo 3.5 should be a thing, because they've tried to innovate with Halo with moderate to no success. Moderate success with the grapple shot, which is an excellent addition. I love the equipment in Infinite, but mostly it's been no real success in changing what already works. So they really need to with the CE remake, and hopefully they should just remake all of MCC, because MCC itself needs a refresh. And these type of content, this needs to be broadside implemented. In any good Halo game, this should be available in matchmaking in every playlist. Modding needs broadside support, because what made Halo 1 so special was also Custom Edition. You had custom maps all the time rotating. You had custom campaign missions all the time rotating. You had new weapons all the time rotating. There was so much content in a game that's 20 years old. That game did live service so much better than anything that 343 has ever done. It is actually remarkable. These are people with millions of dollars less money than Halo Studios is in possession of right now. And they are still unable to add a playlist to Halo Infinite without removing content every single update from the game. And content like this, you don't see it in matchmaking. They are trying to sabotage this franchise right now, and I want to see proof. I want to see Halo Studios to put some gameplay to prove they actually are doing more than just a pretty graphical upgrade. The gameplay has to feel like the actual real deal. And the playlist and the content has to be day one, everything the first day. I'm talking Forge with a combination of what works in Infinite, which is most of it except for how complicated the node scripting is, and add the reach user friendliness of the Forge AI tools. You want something that's accessible to grandma as well as the hardcore Halo fan. What Bungie got so right with Reach was not only how deep the customization was, by far the best in the franchise is Reach's customization. Say what you will about Reach being a downgrade in terms of Halo 3 and gameplay, downgrade in terms of the ranking system, I would agree with you. But do not say that it did not have the absolute best customization in the whole franchise. It did. It had the best representation of the elites. It had the very best unlock system, the best progression system. It was so well thought out, so lovingly crafted by Bungie. The old Bungie. The new Bungie would never make a game of the caliber of Halo Reach and Halo 3. They abandoned Halo to make garbage. I consider Destiny throwaway. I've played it a few times. It's fun, but completely forgettable compared to Halo, in my opinion. So that's why I keep making Halo videos and don't really care about Destiny. And their microtransactions are just as bad as Infinite, if not worse. So their last hope is the Marathon remake, which I'm praying is going to be amazing, because I've dreamed of a new Marathon game for decades. Like, Marathon is up there with like Doom and Quake as a classic, true FPS legend. Even more so than like Halo to a degree, because without Marathon there would be no Halo at all. So the Bungie is gaping on making Marathon a new live service game, and I'm all for it. That over anything Destiny, because Destiny is just not interesting. Better to go to Marathon. I'd rather them make Marathon their new Halo and make it good. Like, Marathon was the genesis of Halo anyway. So do you want an amazing Halo game, or the game that made Halo what it is, but awesome? Honestly, I kind of take the second one, because if they botch CE again, no one's going to want another Halo game. No one's going to even want to work on the franchise, and they shouldn't want to. After 10 years of subpar to the actual experience, it's not just the fact that they don't realize that if they fuck up this game, not only is Halo going to die, but any developer worth anything isn't going to want to even work on Halo games anymore. You took a franchise that in Halo 3 was revered up with Zelda, Mario, Half-Life 2, and turned it into a joke. You have one last game. And you need to let the fans not only direct the direction of every Halo game going forward, you need to compensate your forgers with money. Lots of money. I'm talking big money. I have seen the love and passion they put into Infinite, a dead, threadbare game, and they need to be paid for it. If not in that game ever, fine. But the next game, every forger is able to make money by pursuing the passion. That means people will be invested to actually make content for your game. How about paying people for the content they want, and then they'll create and help sculpt the experience? Halo was all about being social and community. Even if it had a reputation for bad social experiences, the core of the Bungie experience is social, party, fun. Not competition. Halo is not about competition. It being competitive and naturally suited is only because of Bungie's design to make it so inclusive as a social party experience. That's Halo. Social party, get with your friends, sit with your friends and pizza. That's what Halo is. And there hasn't been a single Halo social experience in a fucking decade that has that social component that Halo 3 so naturally possessed. The Xbox 360 social experience, no console has ever had more pro-social features than the Xbox 360. Not know how. You could get lobbies, you could leave recorded messages, you could join groups. It was the greatest. And did they repeat it in any Halo game for a decade? Fuck no. Fuck no. They took it all out. They knew people liked it. They just had this hard-on for, the way we think it worked. You know what the best lesson that 343 taught us ever is? Change sometimes is much worse than not changing anything at all. Much worse. You had Halo 3 and you turned it into whatever the shop is in Halo 5. My god, just make Halo 3.5. If you're out of ideas, there's an idea. You don't even need to have creativity or talent. Just take the game, put all of it in Unreal Engine, and just put new weapons and content constantly in Halo 3 forever. If they fail the next Halo game, here's what they need to do instead of killing off Halo. Just make Halo 3.5. Just take Halo 3, and that's it. Only that game, and add content to only this game forever. That's it. That's all you have to do to save Halo. Just take Bungie's code, take it, put it in Unreal Engine 5 forever, and that's it. Just Halo 3.5. If they botch the next game, they don't need to try to save it. Just make Halo 3.5 like they always should have done. Because that game can't fail. You take a formula that everyone likes, that everyone is desperate for. There is a market because 200 million people on the launch of Halo Infinite wanted a new, good, classic Halo experience, like the classic Halo 3 sequel we wanted. Infinite's great in many ways, despite being a failure, but no, it is not that game. It isn't even demonstrably, remotely that game. It will never be that game. And we are desperate for that game. And if that game happens to be a Halo 1 remaster that's actually good, that actually has content and live service and is fun, I will take that over Halo 3 any day. If they make a proper Halo 1 remaster with the Flood M rating, proper gameplay, proper modes, the same Infinite Forge in Halo 1, day 1, that will save the franchise. They need to understand, forget Halo 3 Anniversary, this Halo 1 Unreal Engine 5 Remaster is the last swan song for everything that could ever be Halo. Not just for the developers, but for people caring to make content for the game. If this botches, that's it. No one's going to bother to make content for the game anymore without being considered a joke. At this point, it is in a worse state than the Sonic Hedgehog franchise when it released 2006 and Shadow the Hedgehog. I never thought I'd say that, but no. Halo is actually that bad. Halo, and I love it, is my favorite franchise of all time, is unfortunately in that position right now. Because so far, Halo Studios has done very little to prove other than being a rebrand. And that's unfortunate, but we'll see. I am still willing to judge their game as a separate entity studio from 343 entirely. But we will see how that plays out. Now, I do like this mod. It is fun, it is frantic, it is fast-paced. The DMR is in it, by the way, and it is an excellent weapon in this mod. Fires quick, no bloom. All pros. Do you see this weapon in matchmaking? Do you see it in playlists? No, of course you don't. No, you don't. And the console players don't get nothing. They get shit. They get nothing. They charge plenty of microtransactions in this game, too. They were planning to do so, and frankly, sadly, we should have probably let them put microtransactions in this game. Maybe then they'd add new content to the actual playlists. But they've never really done so. So, the fact that they're working on multiple games scares the fuck out of me. They haven't released a single good release in a decade, and now, after a decade, they're going to make multiple games at once. Halo Studios. They're planning to make not one proper Halo game. They want to make multiple at the same time fucking Halo games. Like, does no one see how this isn't going to fucking blow up in your face? It's going to fuck up if you spread yourself too thin and you focus on 4 to 6 different Halo games instead of one content complete good Halo 1 remaster in Unreal Engine 5 with content, with all the stuff we want. That one game will save everything, will be good for a number of years. Don't make 5 games, make one amazing day 1 game. We haven't had one of those. You're trying to make multiples? Whoever thinks it's a good idea, Halo Studios, hey, guess what? Fire them! Fire them! Seriously. Like, you are on the brink. You are at the point where you need to make one perfect Halo game. At this point, you have to. You're remastering the first game. And you are trying to make 4 to 5 of them in the studio at once. After Infinite. Fire whoever thinks that's a good idea. They're wrong. Fire them. Because we need one game to be focused on. One proper Halo 1 Unreal Engine 5 CE remake, M-rated, content complete, with Forge, with Firefight, with all that in Halo 1. Focus on that. Don't focus on 5 different fucking Halo games. Don't. Focus on one content complete rich game, one Halo game. One. Don't multitask. Focus on one game. One good, content-rich, we want to keep playing it, original OG Bungie Halo game. Seriously, who thought it was a good idea when you were on your last legs, when you had the abomination of the Halo fucking TV show, oh, let's make 5 different Halo games. We haven't released a good content complete reach one Halo game in a decade, a proper Halo 3 sequel, simply by, continuing the gameplay that was already given to you on a silver platter. No! Let's just make 5 more of them. After all of this, whoever thinks it's a good idea, please fire them. They don't know Halo. They don't understand what makes Halo Halo, and they're going to ruin it. You really think if we're developing all of them at the same time, unless Unreal Engine 5 somehow, like 0.5, has some kind of magic, hack cheat code that develops games in your sleep where you can make 5 of them without even trying, where you can hire contractors for no less than 12 to 18 fucking months, and by the time they learn the engine, you slap them with a bumper sticker and kick them the fuck out the door. Oh my goodness, it's actually remarkable, the incompetence. It is actually shocking. I don't need to be intelligent to know this is going to be the end of this franchise if they continue the way they're going and they make 5 games instead of one decent day 1 game. Don't multitask, please. Make one Halo CE Unreal Engine 5 content-rich complete game day 1. It's not hard. They're overcomplicating something that doesn't need to be hard. It's actually incredible. Please listen to me. Please, Halo Studios, I beg you, with the bottom of my heart from my soul. Don't make 5 different Halo games on Unreal Engine 5 before you release one excellent, content-rich, complete game. Focus on one game at a time. I know you're not going to listen to me. I know you won't. But I'm going to say it anyway, because if you just, for the tiniest fraction of a second, listen to this one, it might save you several $100 million, if not billions, because if you release one true Halo game, that's going to do all the work for you. But if you make 5 games at once and they're all subpar, you're done. The franchise is dead, and it's your fault. Period. It's your fault. You knew that Bungie had a formula people liked and wanted to play, but you said fuck them and decided let's just change it for the sake of change. Change for the sake of change is worse than never changing. It is. And this is the undeniable proof. The undeniable proof. Go back to what works. If you can't make a better version of the formula, then make something new by iterating on what already works. Don't change for the sake of change. Change what needs to be improved, but you don't change just for the sake of it. There's no purpose to that. And that's basically my 2 cents regarding this. The video is almost over. I'm sorry I went off on a bit of a tangent, but it's actually shocking how Halo Studios is going the extra mile to not understand how to develop a Halo game. You're trying to make 5 different games when we only want one good Halo 1 Unreal Engine 5 CE full content complete game. Just focus on that game. Just that game. Just focus single task on that game, day one, being the experience people are expecting. And the rest of the games won't matter. 5 different games at once? Are you actually kidding me, thinking after this many complaints and this many problems with the franchise that that's going to cut it if they're subpar or underdeveloped? Like, unless you're, like, pulling some rabbit out of a fucking hat, like, Unreal Engine is so good that you can have contractors who you don't even keep for longer than a year, there's no stable employment at all, but it can still develop 5 different games at once? Are you fucking, what are you, like, where is the logic? There is no logic. Like, even by the standards of no logic, it's actually remarkable to go the extra mile to rub salt in the wound. Alright, that's my 2 cents, but Halo has seen better days. Halo has seen some better times, man. We need a one good, true Halo game. A proper Halo 3 sequel, because we're not getting it anytime soon. If things are going the way they're going, I honestly want to see the fireworks. I want to actually see them try to release 5 different Halo games at once and watch them all be awful. It's going to be hilarious. Oh man, grab the fucking popcorn for that shit. Grab the popcorn, some beer for that, because that is going to be unreal. This mod's great, by the way. The weapons are crisp and they're fun to use, and this is the kind of content we want in Halo and in matchmaking, and it will never be done by Halo Studios, will it? No, of course it won't. Fuck no, it won't. That will be done by a company that gives a fuck about Halo like I do. They don't. They don't, because look at every single decision they make to benefit the shareholders. Look at the price of those shop items and the fact that you spend money on those items and it didn't go to any meaningful content in the fucking game except for more expensive items and getting items vaulted so you couldn't even buy them anyway or use them if you wanted to. Fuck this shit, man. Halo deserves better than this trash. Halo deserves better than this bullshit. This really is bullshit, though. This is another level. It's not just incompetent. It is purposeful sabotage. This is deliberate sabotage of Halo, and I'm not going to let Halo die without a fucking fight, man. I'm not letting Halo die without a fight. This is fucking not right, man. This franchise deserves so much better, and that is all I have to say.